For the, oh, it started. Right, got to start again. Now a salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So yesterday I started talking about Dua al-Mujir. Now, for some of you, today is the 11th, am I right? For some of you, today is 11th, for some of you it's the 12th. So for some of you, tonight will be the night of Ayyamul Bid. For many of you, it will be tomorrow night. Okay? So we talked about Dua al-Mujir yesterday. I'll just go over it very, very quickly. Dua al-Mujir is recited on the 13th, 14th, and 15th, night and day, or night or day of the month of Ramadan, or any month at all. In your books, in your dua books, should have a dua book here, in those that you had given out, if you remember that we annotated it, right? So hopefully you will be annotating it. These are the benefits that you've got on there. I talked about it yesterday. I will do so again tomorrow. The sentence that's repeated again and again and again, 88 times, is Ajirna minan nariya mujir. So save me or protect me, or I take refuge from the fire. Mujir comes from jar. Jar is a neighbor. So Mujir is someone who protects you, who you take refuge in, who you will... And Ya Mujir all the time. Teach your children Ya Mujir whenever they're scared, okay? I went through some of this with you, if you remember, in the Asma al-Husna. Hopefully, and I'm hoping, by tomorrow night, if your 13th night is tomorrow night, you will have annotated the whole of Dua al-Mujir, like I have. I'll try and put it on the group, but it's really not that difficult. You annotate it, you put the number of the Asma al-Husna near it, which is on here, and those that are not on the 99 names, just leave them, and we'll go over them, inshallah, and look over the meanings of them. Are you good with that? Hopefully you will be annotating it like this, okay? Yesterday, I said that we would do Asma al-Husna, and we would try and finish it over the next 11 days, or next 10 days now, okay? Let me go back to some of the ahadith of the Prophet. But before that, a surah of the Quran. Surah number 7. Does anybody know what surah number 7 is? Suratul... Yeah, tell me. Surah number 7. What is that drink I told you about? 7 what? 7 up. A'raf is high. Suratul A'raf, ayah 180. If you remember, 7 days a week, you do 180 turn. He says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. And for him are the most excellent attributes. فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. Call him by them. Now, I don't know about you, but the children I have 9 grandchildren now, and I have 5 children. If I told them, let's read Dua al-Kumail, or Dua al-Nudba, or even Dua al-Iftitah, they look at me and they say, really, Mama? Because it's a long dua and they do not understand it. But if I told them, recite Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim 100 times, it's easy for them. Or 5 times, or 10 times. If I said Ya Afu, they will recite it. Now, Quran itself says, وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى فَادْعُوهُ بِهَا. Call him by them. I didn't say don't read the other du'as. Please do read them. Please recite them, because the Ma'asumeen have taught us how to address, how to verbalize ourselves. But even these small Asma al-Husna. Now the Prophet said, تَخَلُّكُ بِأَخْلَاقِ اللَّهِ. Adopt in yourself the akhlaq of Allah. You can adopt akhlaq only if you know it. He also said that if you were to internalize, understand and apply these 99 names, you would be Ahlul Jannah. And I mentioned yesterday that it's not rocket science. Really is not rocket science. If somebody told you, just by knowing this, you will become Ahlul Jannah, and by being able to manifest them, it can't be that difficult. Are you good with that? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps. So hopefully by the end of Ramadan, will you know all 99? All right, let me go somewhere else. Say, for example, you are like Mu'min Ali Yasin. You read Yasin, don't you? Is that a yes or a no? So he was killed. You know that? He was killed in the village square. What does Quran say? He's told, قِيلَ ادْخُلِ الْجَنَّةِ. قِيلَ ادْخُلِ الْجَنَّةِ. Enter Jannah. What does he say? He doesn't say, yay, I made it. قَالَ, tell me, you know Yasin. يَا لَيْتَ قَوْمِي يَعْلَمُوا بِمَا غَفَرَ لِرَبِّي وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرَمِينَ. I wish my people knew. I wish they knew how easy it was to be forgiven and how easy it was to be honored. Why did he do that? He could have had Jannah on his own. Why does he want to take all these people who killed him with him? Okay, I'm going to tell you to imagine. Close your eyes. I know it's difficult with children. And you are told, enter Jannah. There's streams and you've got mansions galore. You've got absolutely everything but your phone. No Snapchat, no, I don't know, what do you use? Facebook, Instagram, nothing. No WhatsApp. Just you and this massive mansion. Every time you said, give me something, it just came. You want grapes, apples, I don't know. You want samosas, they just came. And you didn't put on weight. Okay? So it was like, it's Jannah. What are you going to do there? All on your own. The whole of that village with you. What are you going to do? 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. And then what are you going to do? Are you not going to crave company? Is that a yes or a no? Okay. Even you'll say, even the baddies, can I have them? Can't live here on my own. I just don't like it. It's horrible. Exactly this. 99 names. You should know them so everybody can go together. Are you good? Right. We started with the king. Do you remember it? The kind and merciful king. What did he send? Flawless or holy salams. Who did he send them to? To the mu'min, who protected himself against what? Against being? You've got it written there. Incomparable and forceful. Now tell it to me in Asma'ul Husna. Rahman, Rahim, Malik, Quddus, Salam, Mu'min, Muhaymin, Aziz and Jabbar. You know 9. Are you good? Right, today we're going to do the next one. So, if you remember with you, I did Khaliq, Bari and Musawwir. Do you remember? Khaliq, Bari and Musawwir. And if you knew Gujarati, I told you Bar was 12. Bari, you know, is 12. Good? It's good in your head, okay? So now let's look at this. Mutakabbir is similar to Kabir. You know when you say Allahu Akbar. Allah is greater than anything or anyone. Greater than. Mutakabbir, this is just so that you remember. So the greatest creator, organizer, and fashioner. And I'll go into each of these again. Creator, Khaliq, is the architect. Do you remember? The architect writes your destiny. He knows, he designs you. Bari is the coordinator or the builder. He just makes a stencil. So if you look at builders, if you've ever been to, I'm sure you've got houses or flats or something, yes? So if you look at a row of houses, they look exactly the same. If you go into a block of flats, they look exactly the same. That is your builder. He is told a specification and he does it. Then you have Musawwir. Now Musawwir makes it individual. He fashions it. He's the decorator. If you go into a block of flats, from the outside, they all look the same. But if you went into each one, they're all individualized. Musawwir is the individualizer. Okay? So let's start again. The greatest creator, go on, organizer or builder and fashioner or designer, whatever you want. What did he do? He forgives and he strengthens. What does he do? Forgives and strengthens. What was forgive? Do you remember? We'll go over into it. You've got it written up there. It's so easy to see. Ghafar, one who forgives again and again. So he forgives and he strengthens. And how does he do that? By gifting you with sustenance and opening of doors. Right, close your eyes. Imagine this creator, the greatest of creators. And this creator, who's also a builder, who's also a designer, what he does is he forgives and he strengthens you. He forgives and he strengthens you. How does he do that? By gifting you and giving you the gift of rizq and opening of doors or opening of opportunities. Are you good with that? All right, let's see it in Arabic. Mutakabbir, Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir. Right, now what does he do? He forgives you. Ghaffar, strengthens you. Kahar, by gifting you. Wahhab. And what does he gift you with? Razak, rizq, and opening of doors, which is Fattah. Are you good? Do you think you can do all 18 for me? Go on. Rahman, Rahim, Malik, Quddus, Salam, Mu'min, Muhaymin, Aziz, Jabbar, Mutakabbir. Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir. Okay, now you get stuck. So the Khaliq and Bari, Musawwir, what does he do? Remember what he does. What does he do? He forgives and he strengthens. Ghaffar and Qahhar. How does he do that? By gifting you. Wahhab. What does he gift you? The two things. Rizq and Fattah, which is opening of doors. Right. Again, 18, until it comes out of your ears. Rahman, Rahim. Malik, Quddus. Salam, Mu'min. Muhaymin, Aziz, Jabbar, Mutakabbir. Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir. Ghaffar, Qahhar. Wahhab, Razak, Fattah. You got it. You just have to keep on again and again and again, and it'll come. Okay, let's go over each one. So, Mutakabbir, what's the difference between Kabir and Mutakabbir? Kabir is great. Mutakabbir is one who manifests his greatness. There's a difference, a subtle difference between the two. If I said somebody was great, I'll give you an example, maybe something that you won't forget. I remember a long time ago, I went to listen to a lecture. Now, in the ladies, they'd switched off the TVs. You know you have to look at the TVs in the ladies. You're not allowed to come and sit here. You know that, don't you? Okay. So sitting in the ladies, and there's a phenomenal reciter. And I mean phenomenal. He was really good. So when I came out, I came to the organizers, and I said, I got to meet this guy. I just want to talk to him. He was so amazing. For the first time, I could actually sit down for 45 minutes and not flinch. And that takes a lot. Otherwise, I'm either looking here or there or everywhere. And it was only his voice. And they said, here he is. And there's this little guy, no offense meant to anyone. He had torn jeans, he had a white T-shirt, and his cap was the other way around. You know, like my kids wear. Yeah? And I said, not him, his dad. And they said, no, he was the one who sat there. I repeat again, torn jeans, white T-shirt, and a cap the other way round. Okay, so what was wrong with me? What was wrong with me? I had in my mind a picture of somebody wearing an abba and a kabah and a amama and, you know, like being somebody great. This guy was great. So when you manifest greatness, it's called mutakabbir. So when I look at an ant, and I think that's just an ant, have you got silverfish in your house sometimes? Oh, your houses are really good. So have you seen those little things that crawl out of the woodwork? Oh, you haven't? Okay, good. Don't see them. So if you see an ant, or you see a silverfish, or you see wasps outside, you think, oh my goodness. You don't say Allahu Akbar. You say Astaghfirullah, go away. But if you were to look at that ant, and you see what the ant is doing, and you look at the way the ant manifests itself, you would say Allahu Akbar. And you would say he is mutakabbir. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah? So now let's go back to the human being. Theoethics. What was mutakabbir? Manifestation of greatness. As far as a human being is concerned, he's made you and me awesome. It doesn't mean I sit in the, it doesn't mean that I have kibr, I have pride, but definitely self-confidence in who has made me. If I asked you, describe yourself, who are you? What would you tell me? I'm asking, what would you say? All right, since you're not going to talk, I'm going to talk. Somebody asked me, who am I? I would say, I'm a Khoja, Shia, Ithna Ashari Muslim, mother of 5 and grandmother of 9. Forget about everything else I do. It's really not important. Really not important to me. So you will say the most important thing in my life is being a Khoja, Shia, Ithna Ashari Muslim. And what was the other 2 things that personalized me? Mother of 5. Actually, mother of 12. I've lost 7. So mother of 5 and grandmother of 9. They are the things that make me who I am. So in the same way, your manifestation, he has made you so important. So important. Otherwise, he wouldn't have put you in the world. So mutakabbir is amazing, absolutely amazing. If you want success, mutakabbir. If you want righteous children, mutakabbir. If you want your children to be something, in Jannah, ya mutakabbir. Keep on reciting it. Okay, Khaliq, we talked about it. What was Khaliq again? What was Khaliq? Architect. Okay, what was he going to architect? What was he going to make? Okay. So like an architect, it is Khaliq who designs my destiny. So if he designs my destiny, and he knows exactly what's going to happen, why do I do all the things I do? Why do I do dua if he already knows what's going to happen? Does he know the past? Yes. Does he know the present? Yes. Does he know the future? Yes. So why do I have to read all this Quran and dua and salah and be good if he already knows? Why? Have you ever asked yourself that question? No. Too busy changing diapers. Too busy making food, yes? What about before that? Didn't you ask yourself? The Khaliq, when he writes my destiny, it's written. But it is to prove to myself who I can be and who I cannot be. Now, you can change destiny in 2 or 3 ways. One is dua. It changes destiny. And 2 is Laylatul Qadr. You can absolutely change your destiny. I repeat again. What were the 2 things I said? Dua and Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr is attached to Quran. So Quran and dua, both of them will change your destiny. Okay, next one, Bari. Put it down as the coordinator. What did I tell you was? The builder. So he makes your molds. He will make you a man and a woman. That's it. There's no individuality, but he will make that for you. And he will provide you with the guidance, the Quran and the M14 or the Masumeen, up to you whether you take them or not. Then we have the cool one, Musawwir. Now he individualizes you. He fashions everything distinctively. It's really sad. Look, if you do that, I'm really sorry. I'm not aiming it at you. But sometimes I see people change the color of their eyes from black or brown to blue and green. Have you seen them? They put these contacts on. And I go, well, what's wrong with your eyes? And they say, these look better. Really? He would have given them to you if they would look better in you. Right? No? Okay, don't look at me like that. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. And then, I don't know about you, I see my children, see my daughters. So I tell them, you're really pretty. Why do you need this array of makeup? And then they've got something called contouring. Have you seen that? Don't act dumb. Do you know what contouring is? This stuff they stick, which make your, I know. So they make their faces look smaller or bigger, or I don't know what they do. Why the haven't you put so much gunk on your face? For what? You're so pretty as you are. Are you looking at me as though I've gone mad? I mean, why would you need all that? The Musawwir has fashioned you so beautifully. So beautifully. Okay, I agree if you've got black bags under your eyes and you want to put concealer and I don't know all the rest of the rubbish. That's okay. And then he'll wash it off. But he's made you so pretty. I still don't understand. Okay, I'm old. I'm 66. Okay? And maybe I don't understand this. But it mind boggles. Musawwir has made you so pretty. So, Khaliq, Bari, Musawwir. Close your eyes. Architect, builder, designer. Are you good? Yes? Okay. Ghafar. Ghafar forgives again and again and again. He just covers your faults. Mighfar is a helmet, right? Which they wear. I've got so many extra bits written about Ghafar, but hey, we'll talk about just one. What did I say? Change destiny? What did I say? Quran and dua and qadr. Quran was with qadr, right? What was the first dua of the human being? Tell me. And you can tell it to me from the Quran. It's probably written up there somewhere, I hope. Anybody? What was the first dua of the human being? Okay, let's go back to story time. So there is Adam. And this is my version, and I'm just encapsulating it. It's not the way it's told, but you'll understand. So there's Adam. He's in Jannah. Beautiful place. Pretty lonely, walks around a lot. One day, while walking in the gardens of Jannah, he sees this beautiful woman. And he said, "Oi, come." She says, "No, I'm not coming. You come." So he goes. He says, "Oh my goodness, you're lovely. I want to marry you." Does she say yes? Is that a yes or a no? Obviously she did, because Adam married Hawa. She said yes. Okay. Now imagine they're in Jannah, in the penthouse. And there's a balcony. And they're sitting on the balcony. And they're sipping these wonderful mojitos, halal ones, okay? Halal. Okay. Halal mojitos, because otherwise they'll come back at me. Halal mojitos with little umbrellas in them. They're watching the sunset. They want this to last forever. You good? Honeymoon. They want it to last forever. They don't want it to end. And then this old man comes to them. And he says, "Do you want to live here forever?" What do they say? Yes. "Do you want permanent residency? Do you want a green card?" Oh, I'm not supposed to say that, am I? Do you want permanent residency of Jannah? They say yes. So he says, quite easy. All you have to do is, you know that tree over there? Just go eat the fruit and you will get permanent residency. For a moment, that's why it's called Tarke Aula, they forgot, because they're so into Jannah and so into themselves, they forgot. And both of them go to the tree and they reach out to the fruit of the tree, which they were told to keep away from. And as soon as they reached out, there was a dua of istighfar. So the first dua was the dua of forgiveness. Surah number 7, ayah 23. Look it up if you want. First dua of the human being was a dua of forgiveness. Look it up in your Qurans and you'll be able to see it. The answer comes in Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah 37. So first dua was forgiveness. So for you and me to change our destiny, the first thing we need to do is ask for forgiveness. So sitting, standing, whatever you're doing, astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh. If you don't get time, just astaghfirullah all the time. Sure, you can do that. And here, he will forgive anything. Inna allaha yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a. He will forgive all sins. He says, La taqnatu min rahmatillah. Never despair of his mercy. Inna allaha yaghfiru dhunuba jami'a. Don't let anybody convince you that he does not forgive sins. The only thing he will not forgive is if you have done something to another person. In which case you will have to ask for forgiveness. And that is why you have this wonderful thing in your hand. Before Qadr, send a mass WhatsApp. You know these things called broadcast. Is it called broadcast? Because if you sell them on a group, everybody knows, right? Send it on broadcast. Write a beautiful message and say, I ask you for your forgiveness. If you cannot forgive me, let me know what I can do for you. Don't expect too many replies. Are you good? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps. Okay, that's Ghaffar. Are you good with that? Next one is Qahar. Oh my goodness. Qahar is a bit scary, right? Do you know what Qahar means? Qahar here it tells it's one who subdues. Qahar is somebody who calms you down because he's so powerful that you don't want to mess with him. Now what did we say in the mnemonic? Do you remember? What did we say in the mnemonic? What was Qahar? We said, the great creator, builder, and designer, what does he do? He forgives you and strengthens you. The moment you think of Qahar, you think of somebody who is so strong that you don't want to mess with him. Allah is Al-Qahar. You don't want to mess with him. But for me and you, the greatest monster is the monster inside. You know that thing inside. You want to subdue that monster? Yeah, Qahar. We had a little guy. He was about 7 years old or 6 years old. And he came into workshop. I think I mentioned this story before. I'll repeat it again. And he said, I got a problem. He kept on being thrown out of his class. But he said he had this problem all the time. And we said, what's your problem? And he said, I just get angry. And I don't know why I get angry. My mama says it's because my father's uncles and aunts have got anger in their genes. Moms always blame the father, and the father always blames the mother. Normal. So it says that's because it's in my genes. It's got nothing to do with genealogy. It's what's in here. So we gave him some Asma al-Husna, and one of them was Ya Qahar. And he came back a month later, and he said, now, how do I get angry? Because I don't get angry. Okay? And anger is good sometimes. So are you good with Ya Qahar? When that monster inside you starts talking, Ya Qahar. If you're facing somebody who is really difficult, and I won't say mother-in-law because I'm one myself, okay? Ya Qahar. Are you good with that? Yeah? I hope my daughter-in-law is not listening. But anyway, Ya Qahar is good to calm them down. Okay. Are you good with Qahar now? You good with Ghaffar now? Yes? Mutakabbir? Khaliq? Bari'? Musawwir. Next one, Wahhab. I love this. It is so amazing. So Wahhab is one who just keeps on giving you gifts. You know, like, I won't say, my children call Father Eid or Mother Eid. I don't like the word, okay? They say, do you do this thing in Christmas? What do they call it? Mystery something. They call it Mystery Mulyani. That's what the kids do. So Wahhab is that Mystery Mulyani who will keep on giving, okay? It's amazing. It's abundance. He will always give. That is Wahhab. When you feel that you're not receiving love, you're not receiving something, just Ya Wahhab, over and over and over again. I would recite it on water all the time because you want everybody at home to just be able to have big hearts and give. Are you good? All right, let's just look at this reflection, okay? Giving does not always mean open your eyes and open your hands and just take. So the example we've given here is of a child. If your child said, for breakfast every day, I want ice cream and chocolate and, I don't know, what do kids ask, and Coke, would you give it to them? Why not? You love your child so much. You are Wahhab for your child. You want to give and give and give and give. Why will you not give them ice cream and chocolate and whatever? When they come to Nani's house and Daddy's house, they get it anyway. But why wouldn't you give it? Why don't you allow them as much screen time as they want? You want to watch TV? Yeah, watch as much as you want. You want the iPad? Yeah, I'm going to give it to you all the time. Do you do that? Why not? Why not? Why don't you do that? Because you want the best for your child. So when Allah gives me or doesn't give me, it's a matter of Wahhab. He's giving it to me or not giving to me, or he's giving me troubles, or he's giving me an illness, or he's giving me difficulty as a bestower of gifts because he wants me to reach my full potential. Are you good with that? So when you say Ya Wahhab, careful what you ask for. You're going to ask for patience, you're going to ask for stuff. He's going to put you through a bit of a grind, okay? Right, Razak. Razak is sustenance. Sustenance is not only pound signs, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And always when you ask for all those together. Again, I've used the same thing when it comes with a parent with a child. Rizq and Wahhab, giving is the same thing as such. Wahhab, giving of gifts. Rizq is your necessity, what you require, right? Okay. Fatah, the one who opens doors. Many times you hear young mothers like you saying, I need my child to go in a particular school, or I need my child to have a job when they grow older, or I want them to get this particular university, or whatever. That's where you read Ya Fatah again and again and again. It will open doors, right? Now you've got a key to the heart over there. Do you know in which surah Allah talks about opening? First of all, let's go back to the Quran. What surah is known as Surah Al-Fatiha? Oh, surah number 1. It means the opening. You got any problems at all, Surah Al-Fatiha. You got broken hearts, write them on clay, put it in water, and then drink the water. You got a problem with anything, any illnesses, 2 times Surah Al-Fatiha, 3 times, because 1 time Surah Al-Fatiha is 2/3 of the Quran. Recite it 2 times and drink the water, give it to the children. It has an amazing effect. But there is an ayah of Quran, or there's a surah of Quran, in which there is an ayah that talks about locks on the heart. Anybody know which one? Think. It says, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Why don't you ponder over the Quran? Is it because you have locks on your heart? أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَمْ عَلَى قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. It's in Surah Muhammad, by the way. And he says, why don't you not ponder over the Quran? So one of the keys to open that lock is Qadr. Laylatul Qadr, when you ask for your du'as, don't just ask for that beautiful house on the river and 2.5 kids and a healthy bank balance and 2.5 cars and I don't know, whatever you want to ask for. That's your micro. Ask for him to open your heart to the Quran and that you may learn those 99 names. Are you good with that? Okay, great. Right, let's go back. Let's see if you remember. Go on, in Arabic. Rahman, Rahim. Malik, Quddus. Salam, Mu'min. Muhaymin, Aziz and Jabbar. Right, let's go to the next one. Mutakabbir, Khalik, Bari. Read it, it's okay. Khalik, Bari, Musawwir. Ghaffar, Kahar. Wahhab, Razak and Fatah. Are you good with that? Do you think you can remember those for tomorrow? It's just 18 for God's sakes. How many? 99 take away 18. How many left? Sorry? 81? You're 2 9s on the way to Jannah. You only got 7 9s to go. That's it. And you're done. You can actually say, I'm on my way there. All right. Do you remember Duha? What was Duha about? What did Duha mean first? The early morning light. Do you remember that? You remember Duha and Inshira were comfort surahs, right? You also remember what was there about Duha? Why was it revealed? There was a pause in the revelation. And the Prophet was feeling really bad. You remember Duha? Can you read it with me? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا كَلَى وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنَ الْأُولَى وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى أَلَمْ يَجِدْكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى وَوَجَدَكَ عَائِلًا فَأَغْنَى فَأَمَّا الْيَتِيمَ فَلَا تَقْهَرْ وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ صدق الله العظيم. Last week, or yesterday, not last week. Yesterday we started Suratul Inshirah. Do you remember? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps. I need some sort of response. I know your kids are running around and that's okay too. Right, what was Inshirah about? What was Inshirah about? Pardon? You remember about climbing the mountain. I told you Inshirah was there because the Prophet was looking at the task ahead of him of delivering this message, of ensuring human beings reach their full potential. And he thought, oh my goodness, that's like a mountain. And the other thing was, besides all that of being able to take this message, there were insults thrown at him. If he went to the mosque, there were thorns placed on the road. Things were not easy. They were really, really hard. People were not nice to him at all. So let's see what he says. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alam nashrah laka sadra. Remember I told you sharh was to stretch. Sharh was also to clarify. Sharh is also to give you relief. So Allah is telling him, Alam nashrah laka sadra. We've made this treasure chest of yours that contains your heart so big that you are able to take criticism, that you will be able to do your mission. Because to be able to take criticism takes a big heart. Then he's told, وَوَضَعْنَا أَنْكَ وِزْرَكَ. Okay, now remember when I told you wada'a was to put something down. Wizr was a heavy load. And he says, and wada'a is to take something from up and put it down. So this burden, this backpack that you're carrying with all the work in it, all the stuff in it, and you're climbing this mountain, we're going to put it down. We'll take that weight off you. What was that weight doing? Alladhi ankadha dhahrak. You know, nakadha is to break something. You felt like it was going to break you. The task was so difficult. Have you got young children? 1, 2, I don't know, whatever they are. So say you had children who are a year old. Can you close your eyes and imagine them to be 30 years old and looking after you? Can you? Like they're looking after you. They're taking care of you. They're doing all your jobs. They're not letting you. They're letting you put your feet up. No? I never thought that either. But today, my son who comes home at 37, he will carry me from the door to the kitchen. And I love it. Absolutely love it. And that will happen to you too. But right now, you can't see it. So he's saying, Alladhi ankadha dhahrak. You think like it's going to break your back. It's not. It's going to be okay. Are you good? That's the surah you recite when you think, I've had it. Enough. I don't want any more. Recite this surah. Okay. What else did he say? وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ. And at the moment, they might be insulting you. At the moment, they don't like you. At the moment, they're treating you like trash. But don't worry. We will raise your remembrance. How do you remember the Prophet? Everywhere you remember Allah, you remember the Prophet. What do you say in kalima? La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. What do you say in Adhan? Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. And then Ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah. What do you do in salawat? Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. If I were to ask you, what is the one thing that you do that God does? You'll say, me? Do the same thing as God? I'm not going to do that. But the nearest you get to is when you are creating a baby, when you're carrying a baby. Because Allah creates and you're creating a baby. But nothing else. But he says in Surah Al-Ahzab, Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna alan Nabi. Allah and the angels send salawat on the Prophet. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. You too send salams on him. So you're talking about something that you're doing with Allah, where he says, وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. If you forget everything in life and you're stuck, recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So when he said, وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ, he will raise you. Those children that you're picking up today, I promise you, one day they will pick you up. It's amazing. Those that said, oh, Mom, you just go on and on and on. They're the same ones who will not say that at all. They will help. وَرَفَعْنَا لَكَ ذِكْرَكَ. Okay, now what does he say? فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. Why would he repeat it? Now, usr is something very difficult. In fact, in Arabic, when you have extreme pain in your stomach, is known as usr. Usr is something that is extremely difficult. But he says, with every difficulty, ma'a. Ma'a is with, not after. فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ yusra. With every difficulty, there is ease, and not just normal ease, amazing ease. Inna ma'al usri yusra. The only thing I can tell you, because you've got young children, is when you potty train your children. It's so hard. It's so hard. But once they're done, oh, relief. Except they go in the toilet and they shout, come and wash me. Oh God, here it goes again, okay? فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ yusra. Inna ma'al usri yusra. With every difficulty, there are two eases. Okay? Every single difficulty. And if you think about it, it's amazing. Now he says, فَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ فَانْصَبْ. Now let's try and work that out so you see what he says. Faragha, when you say وَإِذَا فَرَغْتَ, means when you are free. When everything is done and you are free, fansab. Now that's a difficult word. Nasaba is to peg yourself. Is to actually plant yourself. I know here it says strive hard. It means plant yourself. I repeat again. When you are free, plant yourself. Now imagine, have you seen those soldiers in the ones who wear those big furry hats outside the palace? Have you seen them? You could tickle their nose, they don't move. Do you know which ones I'm talking about? Yes. So if you imagine them standing there, how would you describe their job? Sorry? Boring. What else would you say? Have you tried to stand in one place and not move? What would you say? Exhausting. your energy just goes, right? So he's saying, when you are free, exhaust yourself. Fansab, when it says strive hard, it means exhaust yourself. Plant yourself in remembering him. Just stick to a place where you're just attached to him. And then he says, وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ فَارْغَب. So plant yourself, go to Salah, pray Salah, think about him. And to your Rabb go. Farghab means to, I'll put it in your words. Although it means turn your attention to him, so your raghiba means to long for something, charge yourself. So in other words, he's saying, when you are free and your battery is depleted, it's exhausted, go and charge yourself with your Rabb. Are you good? Imagine you're a phone, that. What happens when you see red or less battery? What do? You go charge it. Why? Because it's so important to you. It's become you. That has become you, right? In fact, even if it's 50%, you'll say, oh, it needs charging. Oh, you don't do that? Oh, you're really good. You only do it when it's 2%, right? Okay, you're good. I'm talking about me, okay? So here he's saying exactly the same thing. When your battery is depleting, charge yourself by attaching yourself to your Rabb. To the Prophet he's saying, when you hear all these insults and all this work in the daytime, at night, charge yourself, because you're free at night, charge yourself by connecting to your Rabb. Are you good with the surah? Right, read it with me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. When you're finding life difficult, إن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا. Teach it to children as well. I will do a summary of both the surahs inshallah tomorrow. It's already 5:29. Let's read Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العظيم. Close your eyes, ask Allah to give the thawabs to all the marhumin, especially those of your family. Pray for those who are ill and those who are in trouble. لي خمسة أطفي بها حر الوباء الحاتمة المصطفى والمرتضى وأبناهما والفاطمة. جزاكم الله خير. And hopefully you will know the 18 Asma al-Husna, right?